Tell me about that. Why do you love living in California?
Being able to go snowboarding and surfing in the same day.
We had a friend, he was working for Elon Musk.
He said he was Elon Musk number 2.
Right.
Are the blasters good? Oh, damn it, one of them went.
Where can people find you?
Everywhere.
Alright, how's it going, everybody? I'm your host, Yosuke Shingu. Welcome back to Be Frank Podcast. Today's episode will be episode 13. We have a special guest, entrepreneur, business owner, my business partner, comedian, impersonation guy, and everything. We have a special guest, Alex Coury. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you for having me, Yosuke. Good to be here, brother.
Yeah, so what were you saying about tip to tongue? Like, what did you say?
Oh, when you warm up your vocals for acting.
Yeah.
Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips.
I can't say it. I'm not warming up yet. New York, unique New York.
Unique New York.
Yeah, so how did you start your acting career?
Well, kind of just entertained the family when I was younger. Just kind of started like doing like impressions from SNL.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of that and just like acting like Austin Powers and stuff. Just like some of my favorite movies. And then what really got me into it though was there was this Grease came to town at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center when I was a kid. I was about 5 years old. And they happened to pull me out of the audience for this competition they were having for the audience members. And so there was adults and up there, and I was the only kid, and that's probably why they gave me like the gold, just because I was like,
really,
like,
the Grease, that was like a hair thing.
Yeah. So I had like a leather jacket on, and I had like a white T-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Like I love that. I love that movie even when I was a kid, and so I just kind of did the moves where I put my jacket down and popped it up and danced like Danny Zuko, and I think I caught the acting bug.
Yeah. Then you've been acting since 5 years old.
Well, I mean, in spirit, you know, but I think in high school is when I really started developing it more. Like I got into improv, started kind of like starring in certain performances in the school plays. And that's when I was like, oh, dang, this is fun. I feel pretty good at this.
Like at one point, like you were on the Disney Channel, right?
That's correct.
What was the show name?
So it was called Bug Juice.
Bug Juice?
Yeah. And, I was about 10 years old, so it was 2001.
Yeah.
And they went and traveled to different camps every year. It was around for like 4 years. And they just happened to come to a Brush Ranch camp. That was the camp that I grew up at since I was like a kid. I always went there every summer. And then one summer, you know, the Disney Channel came out and they basically started, it was kind of wild. It was like just reality TV for kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like camp life and love and heartbreak and adventure. it was kind of a lot.
Your heart was broken?
No, I was younger than some of the kids that were kind of like the main features in the cast, like, which is funny. I was really the only younger camper there that they allowed onto the show, just because I probably like got in front of the camera and started doing stuff, and they're like, hey, this kid, like we should get him on camera. So
yeah, I mean, like it's like a crazy, right? Like even like you started your career, like even how we met.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we've been working together, making videos, and I mean, I remember that day I met you. Like you were walking your like an ex's girlfriend, a dog or whatever, and then I had a camera, and I was taking somebody's like headshot.
Right.
And then like I was like, hey, cute dog, and I took the picture of your dog.
Yeah. I still have that photo. Yeah,
you do?
Yeah, it's a good photo.
And then like we start talking about, say, hey, you know, like you know, I do this video and all that kind of stuff. You're like, oh, that's cool, whatever, you know.
That was an awesome day of fate.
Yeah,
man.
we didn't talk after that for a while, but like and then like you like out of blue you call me or something.
So we saw each other on a commercial. I was doing a commercial. And then you were shooting the commercial.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, what's up, brother? And then I was putting together training videos for my family company.
Yeah.
We work with Marriott. And then I was like, hey, I got this great idea to do some intertraining is what I call it, where you entertain and train. And then it was perfect. And ever since then, it's been a great partnership.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, it's just like growing, you know, like a journey, and then we've been It's been what, 6-7 years?
8.
8 years. Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
And then I remember like I was like researching, and I was researching today, but I still love that story about that you were like what's that called, prom king?
Oh, and the Avril Levine music video. Like, yeah, that was pretty fun. So let's see. I was just supposed to be like an extra. Like I wasn't even supposed to be like the main feature, like the prom king. And then I remember going there and just being like, oh, this is so cool. Like I was like, I really want to, like, I got to get some camera time. I was like, this is too cool. And then everybody was like, yeah, right. Like, good luck.
So how did you know that they were doing a music video? Is there like an email or something? Oh, agent?
I had an agent that I went to the audition, and then they called me in. And then basically I was just hanging out with like all the extras for a minute. And then there was like only 8 features. Yeah. And so they went into like hair and makeup, and they were like, all features into hair and makeup. And I was like, just kind of like inched over there, and I was like, and then they were like, are you a feature? And I was like, yeah. And then so they did my hair and makeup, and then they were like all features into the gymnasium. And then I went into the gymnasium, and I figured that either they would be like, oh, who are you? You're not on the list, or like I would just get away with it. And I guess the crazy thing is they said, what's your name? And I thought I was like busted, you know. And then they were like, hey, we want you to be the prom king. And I was like,
you say your name is Alex?
Yeah. And I was like, sure, I'm Alex. And they're like, all right, we want you to be the prom king. I'm like, cool. And then and then we shot till like, that was a long day. I think I got there at like 11 in the morning. Yeah. And then I didn't leave till like 2:30 in the morning that night. Yeah. Like that morning.
Was that like after watching the video, like what did your first thought was?
It took a while to come out, like a few months, but I was like, oh, this is just the beginning. I was like, this. It felt good. It felt right. I just felt like I had put a lot of years in, you know, going to film school, and I moved to LA when I was 17, and it was probably the some of the biggest exposure I've had. You know, it has over 200 million views or something like that.
Oh
on
YouTube. I mean, I remember my sister even. I mean, we were living in Japan, and then she had Avril Lavigne's like a poster. Like she was obsessed with it. Yeah. And it was funny to me, and I was talking about you, and like, yeah, he's in the music video, and then she was kind of like freaking out about it, and they're like, oh, I've seen that video, you know. Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, she was cool. I mean, that was a good experience, and yeah.
Yeah, and then like so you went to a New York film school?
Yeah, the New York Film Academy, but it's a franchise. So I went in Burbank, California, so like close to Hollywood, and that's where I studied.
Yeah, how was that? Like, would you go back again? Like, if you had a choice to go to film school?
That's a good question. I don't have a lot of regrets, you know. Like I really love kind of where my path has brought me, and kind of where the journey has led. But I don't know. In hindsight, I probably would have spent all that money and time like going to the Groundlings, which I'm at now, or I was working at Playhouse West, which is like where they do like really fine like acting techniques like and study. And you know, I just feel like it was a lot of it was like high school times, like on steroids, like at film school in Hollywood. Like, you know, you thought high school was over, then you get there and like
what is grounding?
So the Groundlings is it's kind of where a lot of people from SNL are pulled from. Yeah. So a lot of the SNL scouts go to the Groundlings in Hollywood. It's kind of like it's improv, live improv, but in Hollywood. And in order to even, you know, become a member, you have to audition, and you have to go through all the classes, you know, beginning, intermediate, and advanced. And so they have to like bring you in, and then they'll either cut you or tell you to repeat, or they'll pass you for each level. And so I'm past the advanced level now. I'm in the writing lab, and I'm hoping to be a full-time performer there soon, and see what happens.
Well, congrats, man.
Thanks, brother.
Like, how long does it take to be, what's that steps you said?
Well, the steps is beginning, intermediate, and advanced, but you have to audition in order to even get into the beginning class.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I started that endeavor probably in 2017 or 18 when I moved back to California, and then COVID hit, so there was a couple of years off there. Yeah. And then finally they opened their doors back up, and I was like, they just jumped up right back into it.
Yeah. So I mean, you love living in California, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Why do you love living in California?
Well, I think just the environment, the weather,
Right.
being able to go snowboarding and surfing in the same day, like is pretty wild to me. Yeah, I've done it.
Really?
Yeah, not in a long time, but I had a lot of when I first moved out there, I was pretty ambitious.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful out there. I mean, like I went to your house and then, like it's just like right next to the beach.
Yeah.
And then like that coffee shop. I mean, it has the best coffee still.
Pismo Coffee.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to that company. Hopefully that they sponsor me, send me some coffee.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I keep telling them, bring me those beans, you know what I mean? But it's all good.
I'm bringing them. They got, they didn't let me bring them over because of some import law. I got you though.
Yeah, but like, it's beautiful. When I went there was the COVID era. So like it was like not much things open.
We went to Catalina Island.
Yeah, but that was pretty good too though. Like it just like, I don't know, it's just like a LA life, and then like it's expensive, I can see it. And then like even Chick-fil-A was like expensive. I was like, damn, like it's like $12 for like one combo.
Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle choice. It's not for everybody. And and I'm grateful I get to come back here too, and I have a lot of family around and get to come and work on the business and do these kind of projects and come to the studio and work with my business partner. I just think, like, I'm in acting, and so I moved out there when I was 17 to really follow my acting. So although I love the weather and everything, it was really like a business decision because I really believe like that's where everything was. Now the industry is kind of, it's relocated a little bit, but I still think it's still a very big central hub for auditions. And I've been there for so many years now. It's home.
Yeah. You consider LA home?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you think about that? Like LA, it's still is a central hub for comedian. Yeah. And then a lot of people move there, right? Right. But right now it's like a COVID and everything. It's like a Zoom meeting, a Zoom podcast, and everything going around. Right. And then also like Joe Rogan moved to Texas, Austin, right? Right. And then a lot of influencer is like starting their community in a small town. Even Oklahoma, like their film community is getting bigger and bigger. Absolutely. And then they just started to, like what's the TV show with the Sylvester?
Tulsa King.
Tulsa King. Yeah. So that, what do you think about that though? Because like, do you think that still live in LA take advantage, or like do you think that like it's like every film market of the comedian market is kind of getting diverse a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's definitely getting diverse, but I still think there's so much rich history in LA and so much people to network with. Yeah. And it's kind of a, just a melting pot of different comedians from all over the world. And they kind of come there and, sometimes they'll come in and they'll come out, but I still think it's a great place to go, like to the Comedy Store or the Laugh Factory, which I've done stand up there before. And they have, if you're really trying to go do open mics and stay fresh and sharp and keep your comedy tools sharp, I just feel like it's there's limitless opportunities to explore out there.
Yeah, I mean, like I heard about Laugh Factory. I mean, like there's nothing like it in like here or like anywhere. Yeah. And then also like, you tell me some story about like you met this guy or you met that guy or whatever. Yeah. I mean, like you probably not meet those kind of caliber of people over there, over here. Yeah, I mean, I meet some cool people when I travel anywhere, but I mean, definitely I've met some really interesting comedians, like kind of just working the circuit. Out in LA. Like who'd you meet? Like, do you meet celebrity and stuff in LA? I think the coolest person that I met was Whitney Cummings. Oh yeah, yeah, she's funny. Yeah, she's cool. Where'd you meet her? It was at which place was it called? Flappers in Burbank. Yeah. I mean, and she, it's cool because they all still go and they do the open mics and they still keep, they it's just like anybody. Like when you're working it, even if you're an amateur, or even you'll run into people out there because it never stops. You know what I mean? Like crafting your work and making sure the jokes flow right and just figuring it out, the pacing. Yeah, isn't that like whenever you meet the celebrity in like a comedy club in that situation, does that people like go there to like take a photo with and all that kind of stuff, or like they just like there. So like there's a code to like don't mess with those people.
No, I don't think. No, actually, I think that's what's cool about it is it's like it's kind of like family. Like, you know, it's not easy to be. I think they have a lot of respect for anybody who's working it. You know what I mean? Because comedy can be tough out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And driving around the city, just hoping that you get up for an open mic. When you run into them, they're usually pretty friendly and supportive.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like honestly, like. It's a lot of like I see a lot of social media posts and all that kind of stuff about, you know, comedian people like practicing in the open mic, and then sometimes they bomb. Exactly. And then like even like a celebrity and stuff, and then they figure out what's funny, what's not funny. Yeah. And then like honestly, like
you got to workshop it.
Yeah. I mean, do you do that or?
Yeah, I'm getting back into it more, but when I first moved back out, I was burning myself out going to like, I was literally driving like all over town. I would start from like 7 p.m. and like I wouldn't get home till like 2, and I would just be going to these different open mic bars, and you know, and then sometimes you wouldn't even get up. So, you know, you drive all the way across the city, you put your name in, and then when you don't get up, you're like, oh man, you got to go drive to the next bar. But you know, it's part of it, and it was really fun. COVID happened, so a lot of that stopped, and it's coming back now. So I'm getting back into it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, like honestly, that the COVID times, it's like a lot harder for like LA people. Yeah. And then now it's like here, like nothing. And then like, I don't know, like social media and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm like, you know, you've been keep doing that impersonation with a lot of like different characters, and then put it out and consistently. And then, I mean, I think it's funny. And then like, when did you start doing the impersonation?
Kind of as a kid, you know, like again with just like watching SNL and kind of like redoing the sketches and stuff, like Will Ferrell, and watching Chris Farley sketches and watching Adam Sandler, and you know, doing those voices and watching those guys. And my dad was kind of a big part of that too. He did a lot of Looney Tune impressions when I was a kid, you know, so he'd be like, I'll say, boy, you gotta pull their head, boy, you know, Foghorn Leghorn, or going down through what you step through. Have a good day through. Droopy Dog. So I kind of, he'd always make me laugh.
Actually, I've heard that he's saying that.
yeah. He'll pull it out every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, then did you hear that like, you know, Twitter just came out about like Elon Musk said about like Twitter was like had a censorship on the voting? No? You mean like the voting for when he asked if they still wanted him to be this? No, that was crazy too. Didn't he lose? Yeah, he got voted out, and he said he would abide by whatever the results said, which it's kind of makes me laugh. It's kind of like the biggest like, do you like me, like ever by a CEO. And then is that can you like look it up what he said about that? I mean, like it's just crazy, right? I mean. And then like we had a friend, right? Mm-hmm. And then like the guy said that he was working for Elon Musk. Yeah. For like he was number 2, and then I introduced it to him to you, and then it turned out it was a probably crazy story. Maybe you want to tell about. I don't know. All right, put me on the spot. Yeah. I'll start it, I guess. Yeah. So. I met a friend. I had a friend that I met through you. Yeah. And I guess he was Elon. He said he was Elon Musk number 2. Yeah. And so we thought that was pretty cool. You know, he seemed like a nice enough guy. Yeah. And then I mean, we spent some time with him, and then after kind of getting to know him, he ended up telling us both that he had cancer, right? Yeah, that was kind of fucked up. I mean, like honestly. We're at the Vast, and then we're at a bar, and then he tells me that. Yeah, you and I both were there. He told us, like, pulled us aside separately and told us. Yeah, he told you first, right? Probably. I can't remember. Yeah, but I remember he had a fucking that SpaceX shirt on too. I think that day. Yeah, he always wore his SpaceX hat. Yeah, he had the drip on. He had that SpaceX drip. Yeah, and then he told me that like he has like 3 years to live or whatever. And it turned out he was lying. Yeah, and then I cried my eyes out. I cried too. We all did. Yeah, and then like I can't believe my employee at the time, and then you call me, and then you were saying like he doesn't have a cancer or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I confirmed it through, like, through both of us, but I think he had mentioned, he told you that he had gotten results from the doctor that they were wrong.
Right.
He said that they got wrong results, which is pretty tough for hospitals to give false, like, cancer results. I mean, but especially when was as advanced as he said that it was.
Right.
That it was terminal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I invited him out to Grapevine. We have a hotel there. That my family owns, and he came out to play some golf, and he met my dad.
Yeah.
And he met, the GM there.
Yeah.
And I had told my dad that, he got his results back, and I guess they turned out to be that they gave him wrong results. And, my dad thought that was very suspicious. My dad's a pretty intuitive guy.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, like, you call me and I was kind of a little bit like a defensive, like, why you calling him like my friend?
Yeah, your first reaction was, you were like, well, no. And then you had like your people, you told like some other people that we work with. Yeah. And they ended up confirming that, he was at a Thunder game and some other people called him out and there was this big fight, and they ended up finding out that his name was nowhere on the website. There was a background check done by I think one of your associates' wives or something like that. Yeah, and then like they called, and then like they talked to the actual department head person. Yeah, and then I don't know that person, and then wow, it's not like it's not on the website, and then also like I mean, he's a smart man, you know what I mean? It's like we wanted to have like a reference because it's a perfect reference, right? Like the guy works at spacex. Yeah, exactly. So we had a big bit, and then we my business partner called him and then said, hey, can I put you on the reference? Yeah. And he's like, hell yeah. And then like, okay, they will email you. Right. And then he said, well, if some external email, it might bounce back. Right. Because Elon doesn't like accept external email. Yeah. So it's like he always had some reason, but like it does like something that Elon would do, you know what I mean? Yeah. So and then like he told everybody, and everybody he was with, right? Yeah. The girlfriend for like 7 years or whatever, and then he was saying that in front of her, and then also like he was telling to everybody who he interact with wearing shirt, right? Yeah. And then telling people he works everybody there. He was telling. Yeah. Yeah, and then like he would the craziest thing is he would have phone calls from Elon Musk, right? Yes. It would say Elon Musk, and then he would take it and he'd be like, Oh, hold on, guys. I got E. Oh, well, that's not right. I double check. Acting like he's having these like really serious conversations with Elon, and then we totally believe. I mean, who was calling him, and who was he talking to in that way? I would like to know. And then he was talking to people like he was this like the commander. Like, all right, we're go in 30 minutes. Like, right. Are the blasters good? Oh, damn it, one of them went. We lost one of the blasters. Like, who is this guy making this? Yeah. And like we thought it was, we thought it was pretty damn cool. Until that kind of came out that because when he was at the hotel, when I invited him there, he was there for like a few days, and I was still under the impression that he had cancer, but then I had found out that he had told other people that he didn't have it. Yeah, I mean it sucks, and then I remember the same thing about like when me and him went to golf, and then I should have question it. He was driving Ford and not Tesla. You know what I mean? He had a reason for that too. I forgot what the reason was. Yeah, it's been a long time, but I was friends with him like a year and a half. And then like when we were going to golf, and then he was driving, and like Ford has like a dashboard, or like any car has a dashboard. Yeah. So like Elon Musk. Right. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw the same thing, man. Yeah, but I mean, like, I told him so many times. He told me multiple times he's very, very stressed out about working at the SpaceX. And I've told him multiple times that I don't really care if you work at the SpaceX. Yeah. I think I like you. That's why I'm your friend. Which is probably his like subconscious trying to say like, I don't want to live this lie anymore, pretending that I'm working at SpaceX. You know what I mean? I wish he would have just been honest. Yeah, but I don't know how I would react.
You know, like if you
like, what if he called you right now and was like, hey, Yosuke, like, I'm sorry, I should have been better. Like, I didn't, you know, he's like, he watches this podcast. He's like, hey, I hear, you know, miss you, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'd probably answer, and then I would like to ask why.
Yeah.
Like, why you have to do that elaborative lie.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do? Like, he calls you or he texts you, say, hey, I'm sorry. What would you do?
Boy, you know, I think, you know, obviously, like, I forgive, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to move on, but it's a, and it was a, like, the cancer thing that's the craziest lie, you know what I mean? Like, the Elon thing is nuts. The cancer thing is just not okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an egregious lie. It's pathological. And, you know, as I get older, I keep my, you know, my circles closer.
Yeah.
So, and you got to be careful who you, like, the energy that you let in, because like there's so much projects that we're working on. There's only so much time and attention, you know, that you can give to people.
I mean, I would say the same thing. I will forgive, but I don't think I can ever trust him.
Yeah.
I mean, trust him and like
how could you?
Yeah, I mean, honesty is the most thing I value. That's why my company name is Frank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully, I mean, he's doing good, and then, you know, I wish him the best.
Yeah, I think he's dating like one of my old friends, like one of our old associates that used to work with us, and I hope they're doing well.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't matter to me he watching it or like somebody watching it talking about it or anything like that. I'm not trying to like say that. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't
you gotta be careful like who you let into your life. You know, you gotta be very, like, it's just trust but verify. I think is like the whole point of this. You know, like, you can trust people, you gotta verify. You can't just believe everybody, because they can really make it very believable. And we're not, you know, we've been around. So, I mean, I think we were both, you know, it was embarrassing to be like, what?
Yeah. I mean,
you know, to invite him to people, to introduce him as like somebody that we trusted and like a respected guy. And then, you know, so.
I mean, that time of the period of time, like when I figured it out, I was kind of like doubting everybody. I mean, I was like almost doubting myself. Yeah. Because I started dating my girlfriend right now. Yeah. And then I was like, from her perspective, I just told her I know the guy who worked at SpaceX, and then I own the company, multiple businesses, and then I'm from Japan, didn't speak English, and then all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Like, how can she believe what I'm doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because what do I have to back it up? I guess like she can come to my office, look at this stuff, and then talk to people I know. But like I just start like thinking about myself, like thinking about what other people think of me or what other people tell me, like what is truth, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even like yes, Alex Coury, you know, like Coury Hospitality, and then like it's just like I believe what you're doing, but like how can we
and what we're doing, Coury Consulting.
Yeah, exactly. And then like how can we validate when people ask questions? And then like my mind went crazy after that for a while.
No, it really that's why I think it's a good thing to be aware of, you know? Like it's a learning opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I mean you went through a lot of times that probably people like lie to you or take advantage of, but because like you are, you know, like you have a family business, right? Like I'm pretty sure, like we talked about this multiple times, but you know, being like an owner of son is kind of hard sometimes. And you know, it's just like right? I mean, like you went through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it has its challenges, but ultimately, it's, you know, I'm grateful to be working for a company that's growing and being able to help like the livelihood like of the people that work for this company, and like help their work-life balance, and you know. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely hurdles. You know, I feel like you're definitely you can be a target sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, those people who doesn't know about like, you know, what we do, I guess, like Coury Consulting, right? So that we have a business together. We do enter training.
Yes, sir.
Which is entertainment. Alex doing impersonation, and then making a training video There's a couple of things on the YouTube. Maybe put it in a link below.
Yeah.
But like, tell me about how did you come up with into training?
So I was doing a lot of certifications, doing a lot of schooling for hospitality.
Yeah.
So I got like my CHA, which is like Certified Hospitality Administrator.
Yeah.
My CHO, Certified Hospitality Owner, and then other stuff in that nature. But when I was there, there's a lot of great educators that were coming, you know, teaching different things. And a couple of them were very interesting. Like one of them was like a magician, and he did some kind of, I mean, he would just do some simple kind of stuff, but as he was teaching, and it definitely helped me, you know, like, that's right up my alley, you know, just, it helped me retain the information. And I've always been passionate about how people learn. And, you know, I know there's like a traditional way in the schooling system, but I think it's cool to explore what other avenues there are, like, because there's so many different ways that people, you know, there's so many different kinds of intelligence, and there's so many different ways that the people learn. But I think one of the best ways to retain knowledge is to make it interesting, you know, to make it memorable, and not just like the Peanuts gallery. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I heard it so many times that people say that, you know, it's funny, and it's like like, it's better than normal training video, because who wants to watch like boring
1980s like,
hi, I'm Alex Coury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Like just like straight, it's like nobody wants to watch that, you know. But I think when you can make things a little bit more relatable, and you can connect with people.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of our company, like with Coury Consulting, you know, we target a lot of millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah.
I mean, we do everything, you know, we find the markets, and then we find how to cater to them, right?
Yeah.
And be progressive in those markets. But because so many workers nowadays, we have so many millennials coming in and so many Gen Zs coming in, I think it's important that we look ahead and, you know, see where the puck is going, not where the puck is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like we do the best that you know, a lot of younger generations, you know, like they don't look at a marketing, advertising, or any message from like a information perspective.
Yeah,
they look at from a experience perspective. Mm-hmm. So that's why like a lot of the social media marketing ad, like you know, like it used to be like Madman, like 1920s, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like those like commercial ads are like a more of like very in the face.
Yes.
But now it's like a more social responsibilities. What is meaning behind it? It's not about what you sell. It's about how that products make you feel, and then why,
and what it can do for your client. Exactly.
Why is this product works for you or whatever, right? So that I think that even though we look at a training video, it's kind of like it's not a cutting edge things to do, right? The training, but like we're doing something unique.
Yeah.
Than something that people can get the different experience.
Absolutely.
And then I think that we did the case study about the retention rate, and then also that, you know, the training affects
it really works.
The people. It does work.
It affects the guest satisfaction scores.
Yeah.
So when Marriott's people come in and they see how the standards are, how the rooms look, how they're treated from our guests, the more standardized we are across the board, the more educated and trained our experienced curators are, which is what we call our staff, our experienced curators. The better experience that our guests are going to get, and then the better feedback that we get, and then it helps when the staff is better trained and they like where they work, when it's a fun environment and they feel that they can be more themselves. Yeah, I think it grants them freedom to just be comfortable, and I think that's where we see some of the retention rates a lot, is because they're like, oh, this is a place that understands me. They want to, like, they work with me. They don't just treat me like everybody else. They want us to be professional but be unique and be ourselves. And
they shot well, you know. And then it's like
damn right.
And it's a professional, well. And then like it's like a funny, and then like a very information is there. Yeah. So why don't you?
Well, we've come a long way, like figuring out that whole process too. Man, like the team that you have, like with your, you know, cinematography team and the editing crew, and you know, it's just it's so fun to work with, because I remember when we started, like even we do very progressive video marketing too. Like we have the travel channels that are on our, like the hotels at all of our hotels. Yeah. And we can see how much we've progressed over the years, or I can see. Yeah. It's just it's fun to keep studying. It's like storytelling. It's an art, and like how can you bring a product? How can you bring a hotel, which we're already trying to tell a story through the experience of going in and being a guest at the hotel, but how do we tell it cinematically? How do we do it through marketing? How can we get people in our doors? Yeah, I mean, like it's a beautiful hotel, right? And like those people who are listening, and then which hotel? I mean, if it's you're in Oklahoma, it's a Concord. Ambassador, right? And then right now National. It's freaking beautiful property. Yeah. And it's not really hard to make those buildings beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then we're like kind of like spoiled to film every videos in such a beautiful property, and then like the food looks good and the food looks tasty. But I feel like we're blessed, man. What I mean? We get to shoot some really cool properties, with a lot of rich history. Yeah, they go back a long time. Yeah. And then like you said, we get some good food and drinks doing this. And then like whenever sometimes I go film with different clients or something like that, they put me in like a different hotels, mm-hmm. And then like sometimes I'm like, damn. This bed sucks. Do you ever like stay like what? I mean, you guys' hotel is considered as like 4-diamond star hotels, right? Like what's the like underneath? It's called like 3-star. Is that diamond? Yeah, well, I mean, they have like 3 diamonds and stuff like that. Even like a motel. Like, yeah, do you ever stay those? I mean, I do occasionally. I mean. Usually if I get a Marriott deal, I mean, I try not to, but and you can definitely see the difference. You can tell, it's like you don't want to even like be barefoot in the hotel room. You're not sure about the cleanliness of the carpet, or if they even changed the sheets. And I'm just kidding. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, but like I sometimes like look it up, like what like you guys' mattress like is like a brand, or it's just like, oh, this is nice, even like hangers, like you guys have wooden hangers and all that kind of stuff. And then, I mean, what property is your favorite? Well, as you mentioned, we just opened the National in Oklahoma City, and that is like, to me, it looks like a little Empire State Building here in Oklahoma. You don't feel like you're in Oklahoma City. You feel like you're in Europe or New York, or just it's pretty unbelievable, and I love seeing. I think it's really new for the city and exciting, but I mean, I like all of our hotels here. That one just has so much to offer. Yeah. It has apartments. It has hotel rooms. It has huge event space, and it has restaurants and retail stores. So there's a lot to offer there. I mean, it just like talk about the attention to details, right? Like, I mean, like I always get inspired by what your team and your dad did from the Tulsa Ambassador Hotel. Like he made those like old historical bank to what it is now, the Ambassador Hotel. Mm-hmm. Even National was old bank, right? Yeah. Like a Taylor's is like a downstairs bar is beautiful. We went there last night. It was such a great drink, but like the guy who managed there, like took me before, walked me around like before I went shoot, and then he showed me about like that bank tellers like a floor is like it's like a little bit chipped because of the people were wearing like heels and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty wild there. Like I think that's like Don Dillinger, like a famous bank robber, actually tried to rob the National, right? And I think it was in 1932 they had, or it might have been 1942, they had about $40 million that was being taken into the bank, which like you have to think about what $42 million was in 1940 or 1930, 1940. I mean, it's just wild, like how much like it was all that oil money that they were all, holding down there. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't get into it, right? No, he did not get into it. But they had they have like guard stations above the bank tellers. So like that chip floor that you're talking about, it's chipped and eroded over time because people would just stand in line over the years. And it's crazy because it's this beautiful marble. And like it's just interesting. It's almost like water has been, you know, like just rolling over it for years because that indention there. But yeah, there's these guard stations above the tellers, and where they had automatic like rifles in case of bank robbers, like, you know, in case Don Dillinger and stuff. So they were prepared with all that money. They knew people wanted.
And then also that, you know, it's kind of ironic, right? Like anybody can get in there now.
Yeah.
In the 2023.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Like, you know, not even 100 years later, it's a bar.
I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it could have been done any better, you know? And then like you were saying, like, I feel like walking into that building, I feel like I'm in the movie in the National Treasure, you know, like a Nicolas Cage or something.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm in Oklahoma City right now, like staying there, right? That's where I'm staying while I'm in town.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful place. And then like you guys have places in like Milwaukee, Texas, California, Kansas.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, you know, like
Indiana. I like the Carmichael Hotel too. That's really that's a newer one, really place. Pretty.
Yeah. I mean, we should totally do that, like a history video. It'd be something more interesting about like, hey, this bank was used to be this, and
that would be cool.
Yeah.
They could show that during like sales pitches when they're trying to get like wedding. They're just like cool stories, like to kind of get people pulled in.
It's a story to tell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like honestly, I mean that's why like I had so much fun time, and then like we are making documentary about your dad.
Yes.
Like I had so much fun time because that was true storytelling, and I don't care about like how. I think it's been like 2 years or something like that, but it's still.
Oh, it's still an awesome documentary.
Yeah.
I think that's one of like our pieces of work that I'm most proud of, because it took 2 years to make almost. We were following around Paul and the hotel, like all the developments, all the hotels that were coming to life, and then COVID hit. So COVID was a big part of that documentary.
Yeah, it's a great piece, and I'm very much proud of that project.
Yeah, you did an awesome job.
Oh, thanks, man. And then like and then I still remember that, you know, he told me that like you know, what made you successful, whatever, and then he just kind of say the same thing. It's kind of ironic to me today. You sent me that quote of the Steve Jobs, and then what it said, like you only hire smart people to not tell people what to do.
Yeah, you hire smart people to tell you what to do, not to tell them what to do.
Yeah, and then what Paul said to me back then, I think 3 years ago, was saying like I just hire people who are better than me.
Yeah. And
then that resonates to me that day, and then till today that, you know, like I used to do all the things that, you know, I was trying to do it by myself, because if I do it, it's faster. If I do it, it's gonna be better. If I do it, I don't have to explain to anybody.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna do it by myself.
Yeah.
And then I went to dark place, honestly, like because I had to do everything because I didn't have any help, and then like I thought of people against me. Yeah,
you can't do everything by yourself, right? Yeah. You have to delegate, and you have to trust but verify the people that you put into your business, the people that you allow into your life. Yeah, and then like now that I feel like that, you know, maybe I delegate too much, but you know, I'm trying to do. You're doing a lot, you know. I mean, that's part of it. You know, we're entrepreneurs. We have a lot of balls in the air. Yeah. And delegation is part of the game. Yeah. It's something like I struggled with like before, but now it's good. And then I'm blessed that, you know, I can do a lot of things and doing this stuff, podcast and YouTube stuff, and doing business with you. And your YouTube's taking off. The Jack Ninja. Jack Ninja haven't come Subscribe. Out yet. Oh, it's going to. Yeah, Yosuke Shingu. Yeah. Subscribe. Yeah. Then but you doing a lot of stuff, and then working out and stuff, and comedy stuff, business stuff, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it all kind of ties together. Mind, body, spirit, right? Yeah. I mean, everything in moderation and balance. I think it like just working out is good for the mind, like to deal with the stress, you know. And then obviously when you look good, you feel good too. So that's just a bonus.
Yeah. I mean, we even go to your property and then we get a milkshake, you know.
That's right. we get a pump and a milkshake.
Yeah, and then you're gonna train for a marathon, right? When is that?
Maybe
say it's in the world, you know.
All right, world. It's in 2 months. 2 months. Running the LA Marathon.
Yeah. What made you do that?
I'm crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I just figure, you know, it's always been a bucket list item. You know, my dad's run 13 marathons, and I was always very inspired by that. And I always wanted to run with him. And he was like, "Oh, one day we'll run together." And now he's like, "I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. It's on you, but I'll be your coach." And I'm like, "All right, well, I'll carry the torch."
Well, that LA Marathon, like, is that February?
Is it? It's in March.
March. I mean, it's coming soon.
Yeah.
Are you running?
Yeah. I've been lifting more. I need to start doing more cardio, but yeah. So.
I mean, like, if I ran the marathon like last year, it was quite experience.
I bet.
I mean, I don't know. I actually, Paul called me after that.
Did he?
And he asked me like what my time was and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
You know, my goal was like he was like running like sub 3 hours or whatever. Like
yeah, like his fastest time was like a 2:50.
Yeah,
it's like a 6-minute pace for 26 miles.
I only finished like for like 4 hours and 40 minutes. My goal was to be 4 hours and 30 minutes. The reason was Oprah run the marathon at one point, and her time was 4 hours and 30 minutes.
She did?
Yeah, she did. So like my marathon time was slower than Oprah, so it's kind of like embarrassing. But
dude, you ran a marathon? Are you kidding me? That is not an easy feat.
Yeah, but that's what I can say. Like, yeah, I'm just a little bit slow, but I finished it.
But also, like, we're more of like weightlifters. I feel like, you know, like we don't do as much like long distance running, which I think is great. You know, I have a lot of respect for runners. I know it takes a lot of toll on the knees and the meniscus, and so I just think like swimming and just a little bit of weightlifting, you know,
I love swimming too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, someday I would like to do Ironman.
I want to do that too. I think after this, I don't think I'll probably do another marathon after this. I think I just want to do it.
I mean, Ironman has a marathon in it.
But then I want to do. I thought it's a full marathon.
No, I think no. What is Ironman? Is he?
No, I think it's only like 8
I think it's like 100 miles for biking. I think 100 miles of biking, full marathon. What is it? I think, and then like also like 2.5 miles of swim.
4 miles swim, 112-mile bicycle ride. 26.22 mile run.
So it is a full marathon.
Full marathon and 120, you said?
Wow.
And then 2.5 miles swimming. That's how to become an Ironman.
God.
And then like I didn't know that about the Ironman like a training.
Yeah. And
then like I've been seeing like many people has like a Ironman backpack. And then around like a gym, and then some girls like wearing the Ironman backpack. I'm like, hey, did you do Ironman? They're like, yeah. Like kind of like a nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no biggie.
I'm like, you're so badass.
That is.
Yeah. And then this is that's like my kind of 5-year goal plan, right? Like, but also like I do ask this to a lot of every guest, because of the reason I'm doing this podcast is that I think that I am very capable of giving advice to my 5 years goal myself. Because, you know, like I own the business and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't want to be the person like I'm just giving advice and then like, what am I, you know, like what am I finished or what's my credential or whatever. But I have so much credential to give advice to myself 5 years ago, right?
Exactly.
So I like to ask the question is 2017. What were you doing in 2017?
I was I moved back to California.
Just 5 years ago. So when that time of Alex, right? What advice do you give to yourself?
Prepare for COVID, man. No, I would say just, be consistent, continue to work every day, and that everything ends up working out. Yeah. I think even now I try and tell myself the same advice, because a lot of those things that seem so pressing or concerning, like when you flash forward 5 years from now, you got through it, and probably better than you thought you were. And then, I just this, if you think that times are hard, just take a breath and remember that this too shall pass. And if times are really good, take a breath and remember, this too shall pass. Nothing ever stays the same forever. So you just kind of got to be able to be like water. Yeah. And just kind of, flow with the universe.
Like a Bruce Lee says.
Yes.
I mean, like, I know you for like 8 years. I mean, like 5 years ago, I remember you moved back and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, like whenever you moved back, like I thought like, well, I'm probably not going to see him that much, like, but like we kept in touch and we worked together and then we started business.
I mean, you came to my 30th birthday party in Catalina Island, and you've been out to California, and I mean, I get to Oklahoma City many times a year because for quality assurance inspections and our training videos and our marketing videos. Wow. So yeah, I don't feel like I feel like we see just as much of each other.
Yeah, and then also like I see your growth, and then like I think that you changed quite a bit, and then like I'm proud of what you have done, and I'm proud of what you're doing.
Oh man, thank you.
I think it's pretty cool.
Thanks, brother. Same to you.
Oh, thanks, man.
I feel like we've both come a long way. We've been progressing, and it's exciting to see the evolution of the business. Yeah, and just our own maturity. Yeah,
things change, but things change for good, right?
That's exactly right.
And then hopefully we meet Elon Musk.
Yeah. And then Brian's there. He's like, "What did you guys say?"
That'd be a funny podcast. But what do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, on the big screen.
Yeah,
somewhere, hopefully doing either SNL, or movies or TV show.
Yeah.
That's really kind of that's a goal.
Yeah.
And then our business, Coury Consulting, I see us helping, continuing the training and the education and the marketing globally, and just taking over the world.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I think I can see that. And then like I don't know, that reason that I'm doing the podcast too, but like not someday, 5 years from now, I want to have a coffee table book. I haven't talked about this in the podcast, but I've been asking every guest, right? Like, what's your advice to 5 years ago yourself? Mm-hmm. And then I just type it up, whatever the guest said, and then I have a picture of them 5 years ago. And then I ask every time, what do you see in five years from now? And then I'll just type it up, right? And then have a picture of them. And then 5 years later, I will do the photo shoot with like hundreds of people. And then every front and then like a full page will be that person's like 15 years of coffee table book. And then I want to call that to be a book of life. And then
book of life. That is
hopefully
awesome.
Put it on all the Marriott hotels.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be on all the rooms. Yeah,
and then
along with our travel channel.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then I think that'd be interesting. Like if people just look at it, then like I'll be like, hopefully like I have a gray hair, but then I kind of want to have a gray hair.
You want to be a silver fox, huh? You want that gray, Yosuke?
Yeah. And then today, actually, like I have one of the clients that do skincare services, and then they told me that if you don't even have a beard, because I don't have a beard, like this is all I can get. But
looks good.
Even thanks. If you have some sort of pore, like you can do some sort of skincare treatment to get a full beard.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
No.
It's like. You can do that, I guess.
Really?
So like they're like, hey, you want to do that and then be model? Like I'm like, no, not really. I don't know if I want to have a full beard.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because it's like so easy for me to shave.
Yeah,
and have this.
It's a process.
Yeah. So like I was just like, I was like a little bit surprised. I mean, like I don't know if somebody is interested, go to it's Lennox Skincare in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So like I'll probably go there.
What are you saying? I need to grow a beard, Yosuke?
No, you couldn't shave it. I remember like you had a goatee.
Yeah, I just shaved recently.
Yeah. And you cut your hair too, huh?
Yeah, I cut about 10 inches off.
Yeah.
Donated it.
Donated it?
Yeah.
Did you take a photo, like a before and after? Like did you do the video?
I don't know if I definitely have photos.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have a video of the cut.
Like I don't know, man. Like I don't have that much patience to like grow my hair.
I can't believe I did it.
Yeah. Like what did you do? You just wanted to?
Yeah, I just had never done it, and COVID, and so a lot of people weren't cutting their hair, and then I was just like, let's just go for it, you know, and then eventually I was like, I think my girlfriend was ready for me to cut it, so that was part of it, but also it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's just annoying.
I bet. I mean, like you gotta probably use a conditioner or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, or like, it's just, I just like to be like, quick, get ready and go.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like, I don't know, maybe someday I might get dread or something.
I think that'd look good. Yosuke with the dreads,
yeah,
yes sir.
Hopefully, yeah, I mean,
can you guys edit some dreads onto Yosuke? Like show a picture and then see what he looked like.
Oh no, editor can't do it. Can't do it. And then yeah, I mean it's a blessing. And then like so where can people find you?
Everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's everything Alex Coury.
Alex Coury.
Yeah. And then every profile picture is different.
Well, thanks to you and your good team, you know what I mean? Like you guys are telling me, hey, this would look good, that would look good. I'm like, I trust you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then yeah, I mean, hopefully that you come back and then like we can do recurring guests, right? And then like I haven't had a recurring guest yet.
I like that.
Yeah,
reoccurring guest.
Yeah, and then like just see what's going on and shoot the shit, right? And
heck yeah,
man. And they figure it out.
Well, it's been an awesome 8 years. I mean, you're one of my best friends, man. I feel I wouldn't be where I'm at today without you. So
same to you.
Very, very blessed to know you and have you in my life as a friend.
Well, thanks very much, Alex, for coming out.
Appreciate you.
Well, if you guys are watching on this video on the YouTube, please like and comment and subscribe. And then if you know something about Elon Musk, maybe tag him and then he can come on the podcast.
Yeah, Elon, what's the scoop?
And then if you're listening this episode on some different Spotify or iTunes, give me a 5-star. That will help the channel. And then this will be episode 13 with Alex Coury. And always be frank. And then see you guys next Friday. Peace.
Wow.